For so many of us, the relationship with our body is a lifelong battle filled with frustration and a feeling of never being good enough. In this coaching session, one-on-one, we find the root of this pain and discover the one voice that can finally heal it. Welcome to the Hug Yourself Show. I'm so happy that you're here. Jackie, thank you for being here with me today.
Hi, Christy.
Hi. So let's get into it. What's one thing that you specifically have discontent or longing around that you want better or different? What's that one aspect of your life?
My body. Yeah, it's always been something, and I've been working on it so hard and, doing all the things, and it's just not seeming to leave. And then I look at my mom who, didn't struggle until she was older, like in menopause kind of thing. And then as soon as, well, it was one part of her diagnosis when she got Alzheimer's, she just started losing weight. And her doctor, I remember saying, well, she's not eating. Well, she is eating. Like, I've watched her, I feed her, like she is eating, but the weight's just coming off. And so then I'm like, is there a correlation? Like, do I have to get Alzheimer's to be able to?
No.
Be able to,
Jeez.
because it's like, you're in that, because it's out of their mind, right? Like all of that, I got to be on a diet. I got to do all of this.
Okay, so let's get back to you, right? Let's get back to you. And when you say that your body, like, how is it that you're feeling about your body? What is the discontent that you've had about your body?
I've never been satisfied with it. I mean, it can still do all the things and, do the hiking and all that, but I just want to be more comfortable in my body. And I have like a vision of myself and like sometimes even in the mirror, I don't see that. Or I see the vision of myself, but, and then it's a picture. And then I look at a picture and it just brings me right back down again.
When you say brings you back down, like what are the feelings that you feel about yourself and your body? Like how are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling like disappointment, like even hatred. Just, because I grew up with brothers, I was teased a lot. Sent to doctors when I was like 10, probably was the first time I was ever on a diet. Through high school, I was always just I don't want to like I was athletic, and that kind of thing. And then just since then, I've just never really been happy, with, the brother teasing and relationships and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's just something I've carried for so long and that I'm ready to like let it leave. And
well, it's interesting because you say I've carried it. It's like the weight that you've carried is also the feelings that you've been carrying. And so
right.
That feeling of just hatred, I mean, talk about that. I mean, what is that like? I mean, what do you feel when you're saying hatred?
I just you get clothes you think are really cute and whatever, and then they sit in your closet, you put them on and you don't feel cute in them anymore or whatever, and then they just stay in your closet. And I have a circulating closet because luckily I'm able to afford to buy new things all the time, but I like have bags and bags of donations every like 4 months or every season that I change out my clothes, and it's just like ridiculous.
Well,
And
so besides the clothes though, like what's the day to day? What does that look like day to day? Like how are you speaking to yourself about your body?
well, lately I've been really trying to like catch myself and not, but I think like there's something still there that just grabs you. Um,
What is it at the deeper core? Like if you could really go to the deep part of yourself, that feels, well, not enough.
Right? Exactly. Like I'm not good enough. And like I remember one time, I had lost all this weight and um I was waitressing in my parents' bar and one of the customers says to my dad, "Well, Jackie's sure looking good or whatever." And my dad says, "Oh, she has still lots of way to go or whatever." And I was like, you get kind of deflated, kind of thing. Like you're feeling good and then it gets it gets deflated like rather quickly.
By the way, what Jackie just shared is such a powerful example of how the words others say to us, and more importantly, the words we then say to ourselves, literally creates our reality. This is the entire foundation of my 30-day Watch Your Words program, which I want to give to you for free. It's going to teach you how to turn down the volume on that inner critic and choose the language that creates a body and a life you love. And you can get free access by clicking the link in the description below. What I'm hearing you say is that it's your brothers, it's your mother, it's your dad. It was, you would start to feel good and then they would tease you, or, your dad would make a comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go into your belly, Jackie, and really feel that. Really, really feel that. I mean, there's so much in there. There's like anger, there's sadness, there's even disgust. You feel all that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, just let yourself feel that. And what I want you to do is right now, just as you're feeling this, yeah, just let this energy move, go down into your belly and just feel all of that negative emotion. Feel the anger that you have at those people, right? Those people that projected, your brothers, your dad. Just feel all of that anger just pulsating in your belly. Even there's anger at yourself for listening to them. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, why can't I just be neutral to them? Why can't I just be unaffected by them? Why can't I just like that? There's that. Am I on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just breathe into that. Let the energy release. There you go. Yeah, feel that releasing. So, if you had nobody else's voice inside of your head talking about you and your body, what voice would you choose? What would that voice say?
You are enough. You are beautiful. Hello, gorgeous, kind of thing. Hello.
I love it. Okay, so to shift this energy so that you're really aware of this, when you have that feeling of being pulled down, or you have that reminder of the clothes in the closet, or when you look in the mirror and you have that moment of just disappointment, right? Close your eyes, tune out all of the outer, go down in your belly, feel and process whatever you're holding into in your container, right? And wrap your arms around you, give yourself a nice big hug. Just breathe into that. Let yourself just feel that beautiful hug and hear that voice that you just heard. Hello, gorgeous. I am enough. Let yourself just really feel that. It's almost like, like back in the day, we had radios. Well, we still do, but you have like a volume knob,
Yeah.
right? So imagine that you're turning the volume of your dad and your brother's voice all the way off, and you're turning up the volume to that turning on. Like
Okay.
feel that within yourself. Like literally do that within yourself, where you've got that voice telling you you're not enough, or that person that is critical or judgmental of you, and you're just turning the volume completely down. It's like not, like turning that off. And then instead you're turning up the volume of that voice within you that says, I am enough. I am enough. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, beautiful. Like that's the voice you want to turn on. And so when you hear anything that's not of that positive, life-giving, supportive voice, you're going to just take your knob, and I want you to actually take your hand and imagine that you're turning it off. You're turning that voice off. Nope, turning that off, right? It's like if you're driving in your car and you hear a song on the radio that you don't like, you're going to switch the channel, right? Well,
Yeah.
right? This way we're going to go, nope, that one's getting off. I'm not even switching the channel. I'm just totally turning it off. And now I'm turning up the volume of this voice that tells me I am enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So from here, right? We got the takeaway and the tool of turning off the volume of the critical judgmental voice, right? You're turning up the volume to that beautiful, hello, gorgeous, I am enough voice, right? You got your hug that you can give yourself whenever you need to, and give yourself that compassion. If you hear that voice, that judgmental voice, turn it off, give yourself a hug to come back into that soothing, right? And then here, turn up the volume to that higher voice. Then what I want you to do is just sit for a minute and think about how you appreciate your body. Because as you are appreciating your body, and as you're giving your body that love and that you are enough, right? That feeling of, oh, I appreciate my body, right? Kind of like what you started to go into. Yeah, I can hike, I can do these things, right? But really amping it up, because remember, you're the god or the goddess of your body, and all of your cells are listening, right? So when you're saying, I am enough, right? Your body is going to be showing that.
Right.
Yeah. And so the places within you, just to remember, the places where you're holding that weight that you don't want to be holding, that's what you've been holding about others. That's the resistance that you've been holding about yourself, about what others have said about you. And so as you're turning that voice off, imagine that whatever weight you're holding onto, imagine that's starting to release, because you've turned off the volume. I don't need to hold their resistance. I don't need to have resistance about them anymore. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to surrender this. I'm going to release this. Right? And then really quick, at the back of the head and neck, where you've been in that push against, fight against, right at the back of the head and neck, let that spot where the head and the spine come together, where there's that very soft spot right there. Just imagine you're turning it on, letting the energy release out the back of the head and neck. So any resistance thought, any stuck energy, any energy of I've got to leave myself, I've got to flee, I've got to flight kind of survival mode. Let that release out. Let that release out the back of the head and neck. Good. There's a lot releasing there. Good. Now, as this is releasing, the last piece for today is imagine that the top of your head and your faith portal, your third eye, is also being activated. And light is coming through those two centers. And let yourself, through your prefrontal cortex, let yourself see and imagine how you would be most comfortable in your body, how you would love to see yourself. And the image of, as you say, hello, gorgeous, hello, beautiful, I am enough. See that picture of you being enough. Good. Now breathe in, breathe out. How are you feeling, Jackie?
Good. Straight.
Straight? What does that mean?
Well, just because I felt I was like, one of those scales that were like, now I feel like, yeah, now I know what to do when it happens.
Awesome. Yay. Good. All right. So what are you taking away from this session?
I need to love myself more. And yeah, when those thoughts come in, that's when you deal with them. Don't just put them back and don't deal with them. Like, deal with them, release them, and put something better there.
Replace them, kind of like the weeds, right? You pull out the weeds, you put the pretty flowers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. I hope you feel lighter. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Your body will reflect this. And remember, when all else fails, give yourself a hug yourself, give yourself that compassion, because when you're in compassion, you're not in judgment.
Thanks.